The year was 1920. The place was Kansas City, Missouri. This is where Negro League Baseball was born. The man who made it all happen by forming the first Negro League, Andrew Rube Foster.
Very smart man. Knew baseball. Smoked a pipe. He was giving signals with a pipe.
At the Negro League's Baseball Museum, you will learn about the great players of the game and about the many contributions the Negro Leagues made to the game of baseball.
See, we played night baseball in 1930. Major League's first night ball game was 1935. The Negro League started night baseball. And right here, Kansas City Monarchs.
Other contributions by the Negro Leagues, shin guards and helmets. At the interactive computer station, you can learn all about the great Satchel Paige.
A pitching legend, a team jumper, a self-promoter, a walking satchel tree. In 1971, always an innovator, Paige became the first Negro League player inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
The centerpiece of the museum is the Field of Legends, where you can meet 10 of the greatest players in baseball history, including Buck Leonard, Cool Papa Bell, Josh Gibson, and Oscar Charleston. All have been inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
The museum is important because this will tell the untold history of American baseball and to let the people know exactly what baseball did to America and changed the relationship as a whole.
From lights on the fields to Jackie Robinson breaking the racial barrier, the impact of Negro Leagues baseball in America is felt here at the museum in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm Mary Norton reporting.
Outstanding. This town, Kansas City, baseball town, really was a baseball town. We would play a Sunday ball game here, and our church services 11 o'clock. When the Monarchs were in town, church service was 10 o'clock, so they could get to the ball game.
Who was the best player you ever saw?
Oscar Charleston, without a doubt. Oscar Charleston. See, the best Major League Baseball player I ever saw, I think, was had to been Willie Mays. And so we old-timers say the closest thing to Oscar Charleston was Willie Mays.
What made Oscar Charleston?
Oh, could do all of it. He was a center fielder, too. He could catch it, throw it, hit it, steal your 100 bases. Just excellent athlete.
The Negro League started here in 1920 by Andrew Ruth Foster, about 2 blocks away, and so quite natural that we all hope that the museum started right here in Kansas City, just like the Negro League started in 1920 by Ruth Foster.
At the Pines of Sarasota Nursing Center, children of the employees who work there visit the residents. It's what is now called an intergenerational shared site.
They're programs that are co-located for children and older adults at the same site. So they're meeting the needs of different generations at the same site and providing that interaction and cost effectiveness and sharing of facilities, buildings, and staff.
Good. You guys are doing good. He's moving. He's moving up the string.
At this site, the nursing home operates the child daycare center.
It's very nice. You can go down and have lunch with them anytime you want. You know that they're in a very good environment.
The staff plans special intergenerational activities. Officials are finding that children make a big difference in the lives of the older residents.
It adds a lot of meaning. It reduces the sense of isolation. It improves a sense of worth, and it gives good meaning to every hour that they live here.
The children benefit too. The extra attention makes them feel special, and by spending time with older people, they get to know them, changing their images of aging.
And they don't act like it's something to be afraid of or like the person's different because they're in a wheelchair. They just accept them as they are.
You're a good boy. You know what? Yep.
Officials say the smiles, the hugs, the warmth residents share with the kids is contagious. I'm Mary Norton reporting.
Programs that serve different generations. They may be nursing homes with child care centers or preschool programs. They may be adult day services centers and often child care and preschool programs. They also may be school-based. There may be a school that has a senior center or a senior nutrition site in the school. And that provides the opportunity for the older adults to come in and have their lunch services and their programming, but then they also often do tutoring and mentoring for the students in the school site, and the school will then do service learning programs where the students can go and maybe help the older adults in their homes. They'll do oral history programs. Other sites are the very varied.
Oh, it's wonderful. And it's so much easier to know that you're not just leaving your child somewhere and going off to work for 8 hours and not having any idea. I mean, a phone call is one thing, but actually to be able to pop in and check on your child is such a relief and comfort.
Hours a day. And one thing that they were lacking were young people. And as you can see, having a young person around, someone sitting on their lap, it's been a long time since some of these people have had someone sit on their lap and have come up to them, give them hugs, give them a smile.
They see an old person, they're frightened of them. These children treat them just like their friends or their parents, or they're nothing different for these children. They don't act like it's something to be afraid of or like the person's different because they're
Kelly! There you go. You want to put it on now? I think that'll be nice. I'm going to help you.
Coming in the AARP dining room and helping the residents make necklaces. Thank you.
Come on, Shane. Let's go. We got to go back. Shane, go make a necklace.
Mr. Lee, can I go down there?
And play with the spider? No. You can.
This looks like a boy.
Well, when he falls, you can go under and get him, okay? Try to make him fall. Charlie, come on, come on. Maybe come over to you. Come on, move him. Come on, Danny. Adorable. You got it.
Is good? Yes, ma'am. Sir, you done? Okay, just keep it down.
Hey, how can we get him down?
The sun and dry up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Here, Charles, I see it lot for you.
Okay. Life Crisis, this is April. How can I help you?
Students and faculty at the School of Social Work at Washington University in St. Louis are reaching out to older people at high risk for depression and suicide in their community.
The biggest thing that I've learned is that there's no problem that's too small.
Would you be willing to have us call the police to help you get to the hospital?
You can't do things quickly when it comes to low symptoms of depression and low levels of social isolation and unmet need. That kind of thing takes time. And so we're lucky that we have the time.
Unlike most healthcare agencies and hospitals, which must work quickly to keep costs down, the Link Plus program will assist a client for as long as it takes to arrange for the services needed, all for the cost of a phone call.
It does not cost a whole lot of money to be able to call people on the phone, and you can certainly help many more people in a smaller amount of time.
Is this Tiffany?
How are you?
A lot of people have come to see me at one time.
Mildred is going to be 89 on Valentine's Day, and I've been working with her for a few months on the telephone. She's been really lonely and depressed, and she doesn't have any family members left.
I never did know how they found out about me.
The 24-hour free phone counseling service is proactive in finding their older clients. Referrals come from family, friends, and healthcare professionals.
It's been somewhat discouraging that although there are suicide prevention programs across America, there aren't that many that have targeted seniors. And I think that's one of the things that was innovative about this program is they really targeted those at high risk.
There are hotlines all over the country that could do this. So we're not talking about needing new phones, new anything. We're just talking about taking an approach with the population, reaching out.
I'm Mary Norton reporting.
So I think they like that more in-depth, long-term relationship. It causes more problems, I think, with termination. It's such an easy way to have contact with people. For the older adult, they're in their home, it's over the phone, they don't have to go out, no matter what the weather, no matter how they feel. And so it's harder to terminate the relationship. It's like, why? It's free to the older adult, it's convenient, it's not
increased risk for death by suicide. We actually found that here at Life Crisis Services that only 3% of our calls were from the elderly. And we said, hey, wait a minute, this is the population segment that's at the highest risk for death by suicide, and we're not reaching them in the way that we want to. And so we developed the Link Plus program to reach out to them in an effort to link them with resources that are available in the community so that suicide won't become their only option.
That it's kind of, I don't know, it kind of inspires me. A lot of these people are really very capable people. They just get caught up in the red tape of things. And if I can help them get through that red tape.
Yeah. Yes, they call me first.
Tell me all about that first time you got a phone call.
Well, Tiffany called me, and she said, we found out that you're so lonesome and blue because you're all alone. And she said, would you like to get some calls to cheer you up? And I said, I would love it. And then later on when I talked to her, I told her about Tootsie. I wish I could get somebody to walk her. And she said, well, we'll see what we can do. And so she's still... Hi. Hi, honey. Is this Tiffany? Uh-huh. Oh, a lot of things, honey. What's new with you, Tiffany?
Yep.
What are some good days and times for you? For you. Okay. Well then, how about I will talk to Lee and get a look at his schedule. Jim Sutton. Couldn't remember his last name for a second. He told me he would be more than happy and willing to help you with the tournament. And he actually said he has a friend at a large corporation who he thought might be able to like help sponsor and that type of thing. So he said that I could give you his number.
Don't look at us. Don't look at camera. Be natural. You're doing good stuff.
Well, take your time. Take your time. That's what we're here for. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what's been going on? What made you so sad today?
Well, just stay with me. Hang with me. Is there anybody there who can help you? Anybody there at the house? Okay.
You know, we germs raise big families, and fast, too. All we need is a dark place in the body where soap and water can't get at us.
This 1930s film helped ease fears of getting tuberculosis. It helped explain why thousands had to live in sanatoriums to recover from the often deadly disease.
This is a fight to the finish, and man is going to win this fight. Goodbye, Mr. Germ.
And most thought TB would be wiped out in this country.
We came very close to eradicating tuberculosis in the United States, but then we dropped the ball basically a few years ago with fewer funds available to local health departments. And so now we have to really start all over again.
Also, it takes months of drug therapy to treat TB, but many patients don't follow through with the full course of medication.
When tuberculosis drugs are not taken properly, the organism develops resistance to the drugs, and that's when we get into the danger of multi-drug resistant tuberculosis.
TB is not easy to catch. It takes prolonged contact with someone with an active case of the disease, and usually the bacterium settles in the lungs and remains dormant for many years, but it can resurface at any age.
It's a particular problem for the elderly because their immune system may be going on the wane, and as it does, tuberculosis may occur.
Doctors say chest x-rays and skin tests are still the best way to detect TB.
That's it. You're all fixed.
I'm Mary Norton reporting.
When tuberculosis drugs are not taken properly, the organism develops resistance to the drugs, and that's when we get into the danger of multi-drug resistant tuberculosis, which in turn can be transmitted to others. As yet, that's not a major problem, but it...
Should everyone be tested?
The American Lung Association recommends that everyone have a tuberculin skin test. It's a very simple test, and it will establish whether the person has ever had contact or been infected with the tuberculin bacillus. It doesn't mean that the person has active disease or is contagious. Well, tuberculosis is transmitted entirely by droplets transmitted by the person who has an active case of the disease, and the only way to catch it is by inhaling those droplets. Covering coughs, a very simple thing, is probably the most effective way to block the transmission of tuberculosis.
Okay?
Okay, Doc, it's up to you. Let's do this.
Just do this right, huh?
First time.
First time. Is that a great one? How do you like that?
Best one I ever had.
Okay.
Got my recommendation any day of the week, Doc.
Okay. Did you like that conference I had last week, Helen? Wasn't that good?
This is why I did this.
Really?
Yeah, really.
She came to our conference, Susan.
His name is synonymous with the Negro League's Baseball Museum. It was his idea, after all.
Horace Peterson, that was the Black Archives. He was over the Black Archives, and he called me and said, I'd like to, why don't we start a Negro League Hall of Fame? I said, no, Horace, we don't need a Negro League Hall of Fame. I think the guys that's capable of going in the Hall of Fame should be at Cooperstown. Yeah, and so I say, what about a Negro League Baseball Museum? Pretty good idea, so it started from right there.
And it is right here that you'll learn all about Buck O'Neill in his younger years.
Played in the Negro League from 37 through 55. Memphis Red Sox, 1937, then I moved to the Kansas City Monarchs, played with the Monarchs through 55. Actually, one of the best franchises in the Negro Leagues, the Kansas City Monarchs. Good draw, and I think what made that, not only could we play, but we had a Satchel Paige, which was a natural draw, one of the best, actually, attractions in baseball.
O'Neill can tell you about the great players of the game, from Josh Gibson to Jackie Robinson. And when asked about who was the best player he ever saw, there's no hesitation.
Oscar Charleston, without a doubt. Why is that? Oscar Charleston. See, the best Major League Baseball player I ever saw, I think, was had to been Willie Mays. And so we old-timers say the closest thing to Oscar Charleston was Willie Mays. He could catch it, throw it, hit it, steal your 100 bases. Just excellent athlete.
There was one man who gave O'Neill the dream to play ball, Rube Foster. He organized the first Negro Leagues.
Because all the guys that I'd seen playing baseball for a living were white, you know, in the major leagues. Now these guys making a living playing baseball. So that gave me an opportunity that I'd never had before, a dream that I'd never had before. Now I could play baseball and make a living playing baseball. And that was this man, Rube Foster.
I'm Mary Norton reporting.
You more or less, you go on this thing, because during my era, the media made the superstar. The media made a Babe Ruth. You talked about the home runs Babe Ruth hit, the different things like that, the Ty Cobb, you know, how well he could hit. You didn't talk about his private life. Right now, what you do, you tear a guy down in a minute. Actually, it is the history of baseball in this country. See, when you say baseball in this country, you think about the history of baseball, you think Major League Baseball. No. This is a part of the history of baseball. And I would like to see them all come because they can get something from this. Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about the website and the purpose.
When I saw them, and Rube had a team that actually, he had 9 guys on that ball club, could steal you 100 bases, could hit you 30, 35 home runs, hit you 350 or better. That kind of ball, and it was so fast. I'd never seen baseball that fast. You know, I'd seen Major League Baseball, and this was during the home run era, Babe Ruth hitting the home run, Jimmy Fox and those guys. So you could probably go get some popcorn until one of these big hitters come up. But with this, you couldn't leave for nothing because the guy, you could walk a guy, he'd steal second, steal third. If you weren't smart, he'd steal home on you. So it was a quick baseball, a baseball that I'd never seen. So you couldn't go to see anything because if you did, you might miss something you'd never seen before in your life. So, and Rube Foster was managing this ball club. And very smart man, knew baseball, smoked a pipe, he was giving signals with a pipe. And then I realized,
Oh, John, this could be another one of those criminal calls. Now, remember your plan. Hello?
AARP hopes this public education message will help people protect themselves from falling prey to telemarketing fraud, a crime that can wipe out the life savings of its victims.
I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
These PSAs are going to help consumers and others understand that they need to end an unwanted call quickly. And the PSAs will provide tips on how to end the call quickly to avoid becoming a victim of fraudulent telemarketers.
Who do you think is the typical victim of a fraudulent telemarketer?
Part of the effort includes training thousands of AARP volunteers to go into their communities and arm people with the tools they need to fight this crime.
A telemarketer is not charming nor clever, nor does he have an extraordinary sales ability. He is simply a cheat, a liar, and a thief.
We are working with the FBI, the County of Los Angeles, RSVP, and AARP, and there are many other organizations. But your number was found on a list.
In Los Angeles, law enforcement officials, AARP, and the Hollywood establishment teamed up to conduct a reverse boiler room, using victims lists that fraudulent telemarketers used but confiscated by the FBI. Celebrities and volunteers called thousands of potential victims and warned them to protect themselves against these unscrupulous scammers.
We must protect the people who are being victimized. We must warn the people who are about to be victimized, not only for their sakes, but overall for what it means to us in terms of the legitimate organizations who need our help.
Experts agree public education is critical in combating fraud. and getting people to prepare themselves for the criminal call. I'm Mary Norton reporting.
You may know that AARP has been engaged in the fight against telemarketing fraud for the past 2 years. Americans lose $40 billion a year to telemarketing fraud. Often these scams involve fake charities, phony sweepstakes, or investment fraud. And according to the FBI and AARP's own research, they are often targeted toward older Americans.
His victims are our society's most vulnerable people. His victims spend their entire lives devoted to God, family, and their country. And in the twilight of their lives, these creatures steal everything that these victims have accumulated. The telemarketer not only steals their money, he steals their pride, their confidence, and ruins their lives in the process.
Oh, John, this could be another one of those criminal calls. Now, remember your plan.
Hello? John Willman. I'd like to give you the chance at a no-risk investment opportunity of a lifetime.
Ha, what does he think? We're born yesterday? Use the plan.
I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
That's it. See, one good line can leave him speechless. Remember, fraudulent telemarketers are criminals. Don't fall for a telephone line.
Package is, okay, you are part, and I truly believe this, you are part of the same daily dollar rape as the thin fella with the stocking cap that you meet in the alley who's got a ring that he'd like to trade for a bus ticket to see his ailing sister in Nantucket.
Okay, thank you.
But that's your number. This is the wrong number.
Can you take a potty break?
I'm sorry, who's calling? Do you know where the
They believed what the person was saying. And I've been in the FBI for 12 years.
Brown, right now we're working on your worksheet for Social Security to determine what, if any, amount of your Social Security may be taxable.
Every year, AARP's tax aid program helps more than 1.5 million people fill out their tax returns, most of them older and have lower incomes.
I could never figure out all the add this and subtract that and read the writing. It's fine. I can't see that good.
Your Uncle Sam owes you some money.
Tax aid counselors, all trained by the IRS, volunteer at 10,000 sites across the country.
The volunteers are the program. We have 5 paid staff here in this office that are dedicated to the tax aid program and 31,000 volunteers. So there is absolutely no program without the volunteers.
Like William Antonacchio, TaxAid's longest continuous volunteer.
This is my 28th year. I do it because I enjoy it. I enjoy helping the people.
This is the TaxAid homepage.
The program has introduced a new feature this year. Visit the TaxAid website and you can ask tax questions of counselors who will email back the answer.
And if you had agreed in the beginning, all the identifiers of you and the volunteers, all that is stripped, and then we post your question with the answer into a public area so that others can benefit from that information as well.
Also, the website offers a site locator, making it easy to find the TaxAid site closest to your home. I'm Mary Norton reporting.
That's good enough.
Yeah, we got that tight.
Why do you come here? How does it help you?
Mainly because it's free and saves me over $100. If we get somebody else to figure it out. If you go to CPA or one of those people, it's a couple $100. When you're retired, it's money. So I think it's a good deal.
So what are you actually doing for the people here?
What we're actually doing, anyone that comes in, they say, hey, I got a IRS question, tax question, we'll try to answer it for them. If we don't have the answer right off the top of the head, we'll go into our books and find the answer for him. Now, if we still can't find the answer in the book, we
are trained and certified by the IRS to do this. We help over 1.5 million people a year, and the expertise of the counselors is just remarkable. They go through approximately 40 hours of training on an annual basis, and they provide many more hours than that in actually counseling people.
These are all volunteers.
They're all volunteers, right. I was going to say the program, we target the program in our publicity outreach to older taxpayers, older being 60 and older, and middle to low income. However, we find that there's any age group shows up at tax sites, and we serve them. We sometimes, if there's a problem with the queues of people.
Side, okay.
You want me to sign it now?
Yeah, you can sign it now. Right there where I put the X. Yeah. 212.98. Okay. All right. Now, before we put your label on here, we want to make sure everything that I've done is correct. So another one of our volunteers is going to quality check this. Then he will put the label on for you, and there's an envelope here that you can mail this in. Do you have any questions?
That's what I mail in, the other one's copies.
Correct. You mail these in, and the Xerox copies you keep for your records. All right. He paid tax of $220, and his tax liability is only $133. Deduct that, and you get $87, which is his refund. And that completes his form.
No, but it looks
All
like
right.
a lot of monkey work if these all these
Okay.
figures to get that when you
Yeah.
can
Okay.
multiply it by 85% to start with.
Okay. So on the Form 1040, is that for your taxable income of $893, the tax is $133.
Income is actually on
Yes.
this. Okay. Can you give it to me, please?
Rent.
Can you share everything?
Yes. Yeah.
But it's in your name?
My name?
Yeah. If it's a rental, I don't know who.
Yeah, it's in my name because I live a long time.
I think we better call him back as soon as we get.
You know what?
Done.
We can see that you can go to tax counseling to pose your question. And if you do that and your question is answered, it then moves to this category where you can see someone posed a question about who has to file a tax return, and there's the answer. Mhm.
Virtually every person and every industry in the world relies on abundant, low-cost gasoline. Today, the gasoline we depend on is cheaper, more efficient, and environmentally friendlier than anyone thought possible a few decades ago. All because of one man, 83-year-old Russian-born chemical engineer Vladimir Hunsel.
That's why UOP got head the way it did, is because people didn't believe it.
Back in the late 1940s, while working for Universal Oil Products, now UOP, Hunsel engineered a radical new way of refining oil by using the precious metal platinum. This process, called platforming, not only generated a better quality fuel, it also produced the chemicals used in making plastics, and it did so in a more environmentally friendly way.
The idea to use platinum as a catalyst probably was the most revolutionary thing, in view of the fact that everybody else thought it was either too expensive or not practical.
50 years later, platforming is still going strong, from high-octane gasoline and polyester clothing to plastic containers and medical devices. This process has helped shape our economy.
Whole industries have been created as a consequence of this. The plastics industry was at least able to grow much larger and to extend itself into products that we never would have thought about before.
The feeling of accomplishment is a marvelous thing to have. That when things work, you do more or less say eureka.
Today, the University of Massachusetts professor is still going strong. He is currently investigating the use of hydrogen, yet another byproduct of platforming, as a fuel. I'm Mary Norton reporting.
A little company like UOP, Universal Oil Products Company, was able to put on the marketplace a process that all other companies, all the big major oil companies have tried to do and have not been successful. And that makes a lot of difference. We always, the little guy that comes through is a good thing. As a result, you get higher octane number, you have a better yield, and you also make hydrogen at the same time as a product. And that hydrogen makes it possible to create more things from crude oil.
The Academy of Engineering is just delighted to present this prize to Vladimir Hunsel. This invention of his has had a profound effect on the quality of life for all of us. In direct terms, as we've said, by enabling the transportation industry, but in all sorts of indirect ways that affect our lives. It's $450,000, and it's intended to celebrate individuals who have made major contributions to the way that engineering makes people's lives better.
Okay.
How was that?
That was good.
Feels like going down the aisle. They will just take.
We can do wonderful things.
Yes, they will take something out of it and
Make a master copy. Okay, patch it up.
Let's put words in your mouth.
If not, you can always tell your masters that he speaks no English.
I think maybe I'm going to get the pasta salad.
To Florida's retired residents, a typical lunch. But to Florida, it's very big business. 1 out of every 5 jobs in Florida is in the retirement industry, 1.3 million jobs in all. That makes retirement Florida's second leading industry after tourism. Dr. Hank Fishkind studied the financial impact of Florida's retirement industry.
The ones that retire are typically healthy enough to retire, are wealthy enough to retire. And so what we see is healthy, wealthy retirees that come to Florida to enjoy themselves, to spend their money. And so it's a wonderful situation for our state.
According to Fishkind's report, the average retiree household spent $25,000 last year. Multiply that by 1.5 million retiree homes, and you can see the enormous impact.
Our society is aging, and people are retiring. And those who retire can afford to retire as a rule. And so they will bring that money, that capital, that economic stability to whatever state they happen to move to if they choose to move.
Who benefits most from the retirement industry? Healthcare, construction, restaurants and retailing, financial services, and recreation. I'm Mary Norton reporting.
Retiree communities, according to our study, generate far more in revenue than they cost local government to serve, creating surpluses that can be used for a variety of things. They create jobs and income in the community. They create then unquantifiable benefits, like what's the benefit of having more movie theaters and restaurants and entertainment? What's the benefit of having better roads? What's the benefit of having better schools? And retirees provide a tremendous amount of support to those industries because retirees aren't saving for their retirement. They're already retired. So they're spending money at a much higher rate than our equivalent households with the same income characteristics.
I think that some states are already doing that, and some states have appeal because of their physical location and their weather, and people are moving to them. And this is certainly something that states should consider that feel they will appeal to people because of their economy, because of their beauty, etc. People move for different reasons.
No, I think maybe I'm going to get the pasta salad. Yeah, the pasta. No, once you get the nutty thing.
Salad?
No, it was a salad, and it had pork into it, Jamaica pork, or what was it?
Pork.
Jerk pork. Do you still have that?
Maybe I should get it.
Okay, why don't you get that?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want honey mustard dressing still?
That's fine.
Okay. Very good.
Didn't you?
Now we're just doing floor tiling there, Harry. That's about it.
Okay, straight scrape, and then you're going to do a shot blast, right?
Yep.
Harry Boyer retired from the military, but he didn't want to quit working.
At age 60, I didn't feel I was ready to sit in a rocking chair for the rest of my life. Second, I wasn't quite financially where I wanted to be. I have 6 grown children, but we still assist them here and there. I have 12 grandchildren. Just to keep up with the birthdays, I needed another job.
There are many like Harry Boyer, those who are not ready to retire, those who want to continue working. A new nonprofit organization, the National Older Worker Career Center, is helping people like Harry.
NOWCC was formed essentially to be an articulate spokesperson for the issues of work and aging. We see ourselves in filling a national vacuum that exists in that area.
Anderson says there's a growing interest in older workers by employers.
They bring experience and a mature work ethic to the job, and something that employers seem to indicate that is missing in many cases among younger people that are newly entering the workforce.
NOWCC currently operates the Senior Environmental Employment Program. Older adults working temporary assignments for federal, state, and local environmental agencies. The center wants to expand that program to other federal agencies, but it has plans for the private sector too.
Our belief is that if we can create a website on the internet, for example, and help match the needs of employers with older workers that would like to have jobs, that's a service that we can now do because of the technologies that are available.
I'm here from EPA. Just got to check out the job. How's it going? Been running pretty good?
We're particularly concerned that people have the choice to work and that the playing field is level and that people have an opportunity to compete effectively if they want to continue working well into later life.
I'm Mary Norton reporting.
I believe the older worker brings a maturity to the workforce. They're steady, reliable. I think they have good work practice ethics. Fairly serious. By being part of the C program, in that I'm not only performing a functional need and learning something new every day, it gives me a great satisfaction, a personal satisfaction, that I am a valuable person. It makes me feel good about myself.
Particularly to help employers engage older workers. There's a tremendous growing interest now among employers, large and small, in older workers, and our belief is that employers that learn how to hire and retain older workers in their workforces are going to be at the cutting edge as we move into the 21st century. So our belief is that if we can, they're no longer counted if they, even if they want to work. So we know that there's a large group of people out there that want to work, are willing to work, have the skills to really make a contribution, and yet they're not given opportunity to enter the workforce. And we want to be involved in helping to create. Well, one of the immediate advantages of hiring older workers, of course, is that they bring experience and a mature work ethic to the job, and something that employers seem to indicate that is missing in many cases among younger people that are newly entering the workforce. But importantly, as well, we're learning.
Morning, Tom.
How you doing?
Okay, let's see the credentials. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What are you doing? Just a tile scrape?
Yeah, just floor tile.
Okay. And you'll be shot blasting it, right?
Yep.
Okay. Not
It's my sink right there. It's
Okay.
leaking. Right, that's the
Just drop a
problem.
little bit.
Alrighty, no problem.
A pesky leak, not a major repair, but for some older people, being able to call on someone to fix it without major expense is a major relief.
You're living on your Social Security, and you're trying to budget your pennies, your money, whatever, and then being sick besides.
The program is called CHORE, Retirees volunteer their time to provide free minor repairs for older people and disabled residents of Bergen County, New Jersey.
Invariably, they all say that this service is a godsend, that they can't find people to help them doing the small work.
That's all it is the battery in this one.
And for some older people who are living on fixed incomes, help like this can make the difference between staying in their own homes or having to move.
I don't know what I'd do without you guys.
We've done studies that show that 85% of Americans want to stay in their own homes as they grow older, and that's one sort of manifestation of this general overall desire to stay in charge of our lives.
Well, Joey, give us a hand on that side, and I'll get this side.
Sometimes that means accepting some help from volunteers who say they truly enjoy doing the work.
It was a pleasure serving people. The people who have the most problems are the ones who just have the best attitude, and it's a good feeling all around.
Okay, your drip is finished. That's the premise for the whole thing. Try and help somebody and do what you can for them. Feels like you're getting something back.
What did all this plumbing work cost Mildred Damiani? $3.75 for parts. I'm Mary Norton reporting.
The men did, and what was it like?
I thought the men were great, you know. I mean, they are very experienced. You could see that. They know just where to tackle the problem, and they're in and out, and they don't inconvenience the person no how.
Who are retired, and really they're such good camaraderie. They've been through the same period of life together. You know, they're at the same point in life, and they're just so much fun. And the guys are always ribbing one another and ribbing the clients, and it's just terrific.